A local real estate developer has banned firearms, legal firearms, for tenants renting apartments in their building. Some are crying racism. But before I get to that, I want to check in with Monica Guy, who's got the story about local high schoolers getting a class in gun safety. Monica, what do you got?
The Union Hill Gun Club heard about those two Lacey Township High School students who got suspended after they posted a picture of themselves practicing shooting on social media. Well, they heard about it, like I said, and they got together with the Second Amendment Society and decided to do something to change the narrative. It's opening its doors to Lacey Township High School students and their families to offer gun safety training. The program isn't sponsored by the school district, to be clear, and the school is not affiliated with the gun training at all. So far, about 100 people have signed up. They're going to learn how to safely handle a gun and ammunition, and about gun ownership laws in New Jersey. And you know something, with so many school shootings in recent years, I have to admit, I didn't know what to think about the idea of gun safety classes for students. So I decided to go to the Union Hill Gun Club and find out more.
It's about respect, it's about knowledge. Once they come here and they experience, they view it, and they actually do the practical portion of it, they're gonna get a whole different view and the thought process pertaining to firearm, that it is the real thing, not a video, not a toy, and they will respect it.
Well, that was my cue to learn about the real thing. So wearing safety equipment, I was taken through a security door that uses fingerprint technology to open into a firing range. There were 2 members there practicing, and that's when I got a hands-on lesson, similar to what students can expect. I've never handled a gun before, and this was very new territory for me. From learning, though, how to make sure there weren't any bullets or rounds in the chamber, to what to expect once I pulled that trigger, I did pretty well, too. My shots are the ones circled in black marker, not the ones in pink highlighter, by the way. The Union Hill Gun Club and the Second Amendment Society are donating all of the resources for the training. It's on May 20th, starts at 11 in the morning, goes to 4 in the afternoon. Reporting for Chasing News, I'm Monica Guy.
Thanks, Monica. Okay, I want to check in with Alexander Rubian. He is the head of the Second Amendment Society in New Jersey, to just break down this story about the developer who is now saying that their apartment complex in Newark is a firearms-free zone. They've gone so far as to issue a statement directing tenants to reach their lawyer if they have any questions, because if they do not get rid of the legal firearms that they own in these apartments where they're living and renting, they could face eviction. Alexander, let's break this down. What happened, and what is, first of all, what's your first reaction to this?
This is an absolute new low for the anti-gun left that don't believe an individual have a right to defend themselves.
Now, this development company owns several properties, as I understand it. This application of surrender your firearms or face eviction is only in Newark, which you would have to believe in the area, this high concentration of people of color.
The fact that they're targeting the blacks in Newark from not being able to own guns, we went to a ton of their other properties, talked to the tenants there. They don't know anything about this policy except for the people that live in Newark. So are they afraid of black people owning guns? You know, that's the question here. Why are they specifically targeting people that live in high crime areas?
In 2008, the Supreme Court ruled in District of Columbia versus Heller that people have a right to own a private firearm for self-protection. The question is, when will the lawsuit be filed?
We're putting together our paperwork. We're going to put in our demands. We're going to send everything over to their attorney next week. And if they don't abide by the rules that we're going to put forward, to retract their statement and their policy and apologize to their tenants, because all they're doing right now is putting a gigantic bullseye on every tenant that lives in that building, that they are easy victims and targets.
All right, Alexander, good to talk to you. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me back on.
Let's stay in touch as this progresses.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time. Okay, let's bring in our A-plus panel for tonight's show. We are joined by Lisa Durden, pop culture expert and college professor. Always good to see you, Lisa. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Randy Thompson also back with us. He is the CEO of Help Not Handcuffs, a human rights advocate. Good to see you, Randy. Lisa, I'm going to start with you. The question of race came up. This is a company that owns multiple properties. They're developers. Why Newark? These are primarily people of color. Do you think racism played a part here?
Yes, but not for the same reasons. I think that that developer who isn't asking all of his white tenants in white neighborhoods not to own legal guns, I think that that's an optic, thinking that black people are criminals. It's not about owning a gun because you feel like you have a target on your back. Because I live in Newark, I don't own a gun. I don't want to own a gun. I know likey though. That's my crazy accent, no likey. When you want to take someone's civil rights away. The Second Amendment says you have a right to own a gun just because you have the right to own a gun. No matter where you are in the state of New Jersey, it's your right to own a gun. That's a problem when you're a landlord. I'm a landlord. I would never tell my tenants that.
Well, I don't know if this is public housing, but yeah, you're not having large property owners being subjected to a stripping of their rights. It's really weird because we have a Constitution, a Supreme Court, and a legislature to make up the rules, and all of a sudden it's developers inserting themselves there, saying this.
Now, the other side of it, their defense is, hey, we're a private company. We can do what we want. Can a private company really have the power to usurp your constitutional rights?
Absolutely not. And by the way, the loft downtown Newark is not cheap to live in. It's not public housing, by the way. It's not cheap. So I do not think that, it's like smoking, right? I own a house. I do not want my tenants to smoke, but smoking is not a civil right, right? I can't say don't own a gun. That's a different thing. There's nothing in the amendment that says you have the right to smoke.
I think gun control advocates that want to be taken legitimately and need to be taken legitimately should stand up when there's overboard actions like this.
Okay, got to leave it there. Thanks, guys.